Hello, how are you today? Today we are going to make a revision of Natural Science Unit 5. This unit is about plants and we are going only to talk about the most important aspects that we have studied about plants. So we are not going to go through all the pages. We are going to go to the most important things, the things that you really need to know. In this unit, we have studied the parts of the plant, which is very easy because plants have three main parts: the root, the leaves, and the stem. And then we have also studied the flowers. We have studied also the parts of the plant that we eat, which is very important. We have studied the flower. What is the flower? The flower is the reproductive organ of the plant. We have studied the plant cycle from the beginning to the end. How does a plant grow? From the seed to the plant. We have studied different types of plants according to their stem and according to their leaves. According to the stem, we have studied three types of plants: trees, bushes, and grasses. And according to their leaves, we have studied deciduous plants and evergreen plants. Then we have also studied the uses that people make to plants. Let's go to the different parts of the plant. It's very important that you know the part and you know the function. So what is that part used for? I'm Natural Science, page 68. We have the most important thing. Plants are living things. They are living organisms. So they need air, water, nutrients, and sunlight to grow, because they are alive, they are not dead. A plant has three main parts. Let's go with the beginning. The root. What is the root? The root is the part of the plant that goes down or grows down into the soil. It absorbs or takes in minerals and water. And another function, two functions: absorbs minerals and water and holds the plant in place so that the plant doesn't fall. What about the stem? The stem supports, holds the plant, but not into the soil. It holds the plant upright. And another important thing, transports water and nutrients from the roots to the leaves. Why to the leaves? Because the leaves are going to make the food for the plant in a process that we call photosynthesis, that you will study next year. The leaves, remember I told you in the classroom that the leaves are the little kitchens of the plant. The leaves make nutrients for the plant. They get the nutrients from the sunlight and air, and with a mixture in the leaves, they cook those nutrients and they make food for the plant. So remember that plants make their own food. They don't eat other animals or they don't eat other living things. They make their own food. This you will study in the future, that this means that they are autotrophic. They make their own food. And then many plants have flowers. Flowers produce seeds and pollen, and with the seeds and the pollen we are going to make new plants. So the flower, we could say, is the reproductive organ of the plant. Which part of the plant do we eat? And we have celery, broccoli, lettuce, a turnip, a cauliflower, asparagus, spinach, and carrots. Which is the part that we eat? From the celery we could eat the stem, and we could also eat the leaves, but mainly we eat the stem. The broccoli we mainly eat the flower. The lettuce we eat the leaves. The turnip and the carrots are roots. This is a root that is swollen, inflamed. Spinach, leaves. Asparagus, stems. And cauliflower, like broccoli, we eat the flower. Here we have all the parts of the flower, and we are going to go one by one. The first thing I'm going to say is the petal. This is one petal. It's usually colored. Many petals together, so usually 6, 7, 12 petals together make what we call the corolla. Here we would have one flower. This would be a petal that it fell, okay, a petal. And all these petals together, they make the corolla. They are usually bright color. Why? Because they have to attract insects. Why do they need to attract insects? Because the insects are going to pollinate the flower. What is to pollinate? They are going to put the pollen from the stamen at the bottom of the feet, and they are going to spread it around, and the flowers are going to reproduce. We have two reproductive organs in the flower. One is the pistil, which is like this kind of bottle. Inside the pistil, we have the seeds. This will develop into the seed that will be inside the fruit. And then we have the stamen, which is this, that it will contain the pollen. At the top of the stamen, we will have the pollen. So these two are the reproductive organs of the plant. Another thing, only this one is called a sepal. All together, all this thing together is going to form the calyx. What is the calyx? The calyx is the ground of the leaf, the base of the flower. So as you can see, we have the corolla and the calyx that we can see very well. And one part of the calyx is a sepal, and one part of the corolla is a petal. This activity is very, very important. The sepal is the leaf at the base of the flower. The calyx is the set of leaves at the base of the flower. The petal is the colorful part of the flower. The corolla is a collection of petals, so many petals together. The stamen and pistil are the reproductive parts of the plants. And the seed is the reproductive part inside the fruit. Now, very, very important is the plant cycle. From the seed to the plant. Let's go one by one. Which would be the first one? The first one will be this. The seed is in the soil. The second one would be this. The roots grow down and the stamen grows up. The third one would be C. The leaves grow on the stamen. So we have 1, 2, 3. Then we have 4, which is the flowers grow. 5, the flowers produce fruit. And 6, the seeds, the fruits open or the fruits fall onto the ground and the seeds fall onto the ground and produce new plants. So this could be the plant cycle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is very important. You have it here in your book. You can see the answers here. So in case you have any mistake, you correct using my book. Plants can be classified in different ways. Here is a way of classifying plants according to the stem. If they have a thick stem that we call a trunk, plants are called trees. Examples of trees, the chestnut and the oak. They are tall, trees are tall and strong, and they have a hard stem that is called a trunk. What are bushes? These two are bushes. They are called rosemary and oleander. What is the difference between a tree and a bush? A tree has one thick stem and then branches at the top. Well, a bush has branches from the beginning. It has many branches. It doesn't have one thick stem. It has many branches. So bushes are, first of all, smaller, lower than trees, and they have a lot of hard stems growing from the ground. So they don't have a trunk and then the stems. No, they have the stems growing from the ground, as you can see here. The stems growing from the ground. And what about grasses? Grasses have a thin, very soft and flexible stem. That's the difference between trees, bushes, and grasses. Another way of classifying plants. Plants can be deciduous, or they can be evergreen. What are deciduous plants? The plants that lose their leaves in autumn. So in autumn, the leaves change color, and in winter, the tree has no leaves. Examples: the poplar, the chestnut, and the beech. You have the names in Spanish in your book as well, if you want to check. These ones, the pine, the juniper, and the holm oak, are evergreen. What means evergreen? That they are green during the whole year. They are never changing leaves. And here we are going to see the different uses of plants. What do we use plants for? We use plants for food, so we eat them. We eat fruits, we also so that we eat stems and we eat roots. We use them for making clothes. Textiles like cotton and linen come from plants. We use them to make clothes. Usually your t-shirts are usually made of cotton. And also we get wood from trees and plants, and with that wood we can make furniture. For example, this table here, well, this is not a table, but it's like a kind of cabinet, is made of wood. And the shelf for the books, and your tables at school, and your chairs, and we can make paper also from wood. So we use plants for many things. Plastic? No, we don't make plastic from plants. A t-shirt? Yes, we can make a t-shirt with cotton. A car? No. A chair? Yes, with wood. And a newspaper, the paper from the newspaper is from the pulp that we get from plants. Very important, the parts of the flower. We said this is the flower, this is a petal, this is the stem, leaf, and root. Very important, this activity. What would happen to a plant if it didn't have one part? For example, if the part doesn't have roots, the plant doesn't get water from the soil. If the plant doesn't have a stem, the water isn't transported around the plant. If the plant doesn't have leaves, the plant cannot make nutrients. If the flower is missing, the plant cannot make seeds. And if the seeds are missing, the plant cannot reproduce. That's very, very important. Leaves are part of a plant, not of a flower. Petals are part of a flower. The stamen and pistils are parts of the flowers. And the petals together, all the petals together, are called the corolla. All the sepals together are called the calyx. Plants make food from the leaves. Plants make food from the leaves. Number the parts of the plant. And we have calyx, petal, pistil, calyx, sepal, petal, stamen, and pistil. Number one is going to be calyx, this part. Number two, the sepal. This is a sepal. All the sepal together form the calyx. 3, a petal. 4, stamen. And 5, the pistil, which is like similar to a bottle that we said in the classroom. Made of plants, we have milk. No, milk is from animals. Well, we can also have some milks that are made from plants. For example, almond milk and soya milk. That's made from plants. But milk, like regular milk, is from the cow. Cereals are from plants. Apples are from plants. A tablet is mainly plastic. A table is made from the wood from the plant, and newspaper is also made from plants. Parts, types and parts. Types of plants. Evergreen, they are green all year, and deciduous, the leaves change color and fall in autumn. New leaves grow in spring. And then we have a bush, a grass, and a tree. Now we go to the second part. Parts of the plant. Collect water and mineral for the plant. The root. The stem transports water and nutrients to the plant. Make nutrients for the plant. The leaves and the flowers. The calyx and the calyx and the sepals join the flowers to the stem. The corolla and petals protect the reproductive parts, and the stamen and pistil are the reproductive parts, and the seeds are in the pistil. The seeds are in the pistil. And this would be a summary of Unit 5. These are the important things you have to study to know Unit 5 and to understand Unit 5. Bye-bye.